So what really is wrong with man? What is sin? What did Adam do that was so bad? Why does Jesus call the humans generally wicked, not good? Because of the agreement that they found in that sequence, in that garden sequence. Because of the conspiracy that they formed. The man, the woman, and this snake, this animal, this creature. Because they conspired together and agreed with the snake that they could have their own way, that their own purpose could be valid and significant apart from God's will, God's purpose for them, God's plan. But it's that agreement that they found that makes them abhorrent to God, that makes them evil, wicked. And that agreement that they found, metaphor or not, literal, metaphor, whatever, the agreement is what's important, because that tendency toward wanting to find that same kind of agreement with more than yourself and more than God and yourself is the thing that is universal in man, in humankind. That tendency to think of himself as inherently good is what's bad. But what's worse, what multiplies that evil in man, is the tendency to not only think of himself as inherently good, but also to find others who will validate that for him. And there's no better way than to find a group who claims that they know the way to God and claims that they know a way that you can find that same agreement that the man and the woman and this talking snake found. It's a replay of that thing, and it happens all the time, over and over, with humans. They do it in and out of their religious groups. They do it all the time. They're always looking for that same sort of agreement that will allow them to not see what they really are. That they are not good, they're wrong and bad, because they want to find an agreement with each other that validates inside them that they really are good, that they can be good, that they can find a way to be this good creature that they think that they inherently are. That's what's wrong with man. That's what's wrong with God, because when man finds his agreement that he's actually good, hello?
Hi.
Hi.
You're going to town anytime before 4?
I guess I'm going to DMV at 2.
Any chance you could go to Archie's and look at the electric?
Yeah.
Great. Whatever time you might happen to want to go, I can't really identify the wires, but you would probably know at a single glance.
What time are you going to be there all the time?
More or less, yeah. I got plenty to do otherwise, so you could probably count on me being there. Yeah, you want to make it within a certain hour?
At between 3 and 4, or before 2, like.
Well, before would be preferable if it's possible.
All right, I'll try to make it out there at between 12 and 1.
12 and 1. Okay, that'd be great. So it's 1264 if you don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Sierra, yeah. Okay, 12 to 1.
Well, keep your phone there in case something happens.
Sure.
All right,
Okay,
bye.
perfect. Thanks.
Bye. It's the agreement that man seeks to find and does find about his own inherent goodness. That's really what's wrong with him according to God. Because finding that agreement means that he is upholding his purpose. His purpose is bound in with that snake, that his purpose is valid and it's good. And it's good for him to have his own purpose. It's good for him to do what he wants. And when he finds other people to validate that his purpose is right, then he has done exactly what the man and the woman and the snake did. They listened and they trust this talking snake, this metaphor, the same thing that spoke to the Son of God, the real Jesus, that which was in his mind, and told him to do the same thing. He said to him, your way is valid, your purpose is valid. And if you agree with me, then you can have all these things. Same thing the snake said, if you agree with me, if you trust me, then you can have these things. You can have these things that are good, because your way is good, and you deserve them. You're okay. You don't have to believe God. Same thing with the real Son of God. You don't have to believe God. You can reach out your hand and grab what you want, because you're the Son of God. If you are indeed the Son of God, then you should be able to do whatever you want. Same thing is being said in the garden. You're good. Your way is good, and you should establish your own way. And your own purpose is sufficient. God wants you to have your own way. God wants you to know good and evil. God doesn't want you to count on Him or have to trust Him. You can go your own way. You can be like God. You can know good and evil. You don't have to wait for God to tell you what the difference between good and evil. And if you agree, and you agree with me, then it will be true for you. Because we can't all be wrong, right? That's the problem with human groups that claim to know the way to God, is that they find that same sort of agreement, that they are good enough to know the way to God in the first place, that they are inherently good, and that God favors them because of whatever they claim. They have the correct doctrine. But mostly it's that all these others believe the same thing, so how can we all be wrong? It's the same scenario as the garden. We can't be wrong if we all agree. That agreement is what's wrong.